first time in 21 years, the Wisconsin Badgers are regular season conference champs. They wrapped up the Big Ten title on Saturday with a 2-1 win against Michigan State. Now they head to the conference tournament in South Bend. I'm Brian Posick, and head coach Tony Granato joins us next on the Badger Hockey Digest.
It's back. The return of the prestigious Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, honoring college sports excellence across all competitive divisions, both men's and women's sports. Follow along with L Directors Cup on Twitter or online to see which schools will be taking home a first place trophy in June for their season-long success. Learfield IMG College Directors Cup, a premier institutional award jointly launched in 1993 by USA Today and NACDA.
Shot fake, out high, Sasana. His shot blocked away by Holloway. Ricochet to the corner. 4 seconds left. Holloway pins it against the corner wall. And the Wisconsin Badgers have won the Big Ten regular season championship.
You know, what was that like? I mean, all of a sudden, you talked about the maturity of your club. Well, now, hey, we've got something in front of us if we just take care of business. And Michigan State didn't make it easy on you.
No, I think that, that's what we expected, and that's kind of the way that we wanted it. I think if we went into that game and Michigan State laid down for us and it was easy for us, we wouldn't have learned from it. We wouldn't have got better from it. And we wouldn't have got prepared for the playoffs or the NCAA by having a game like that. So Michigan State was physical. They probably played their best game of the year. We had to fight and scratch and claw to the last second of the game to get that victory. And that's what it's going to be like moving forward. So I think going into the game, and I'm going to be honest with you, I was as nervous as could be as I was for any game in a long, long time. Just from the standpoint, like you said, wow, we got an opportunity to win, Big Ten. And when you look back at it and you saw early in the year how far, it looked like Minnesota was running away with it, you're thinking, okay, let's just stay in the race somehow. And we were able to do that with a really, really big second half of the year. And then to have that moment where you look at it and say, hey, okay, guys, we're right there. We can do this. I think the anticipation of that game and going to sleep the night before the game with so many thoughts going through your mind about, geez, tomorrow, let's, almost, overthinking it rather than doing what we've done all year, just gone out and played. So I think it was a good learning experience for us just to go through something like that as we get ready for the playoff games now. Our team doesn't have to change and try to be better than we've been all year as you approach the playoffs. We got to play the same way. We've had success by getting solid goaltending, power play, penalty kill, 4 lines rolling over, and contributions from everybody in our lineup. And we haven't, Cole Caulfield and Dylan Holloway and Bice and Weissbach and those guys have had sensational offensive years. But we don't have to ask any more of anybody else to try to do good things in the playoffs. We just have to do the same thing. So I think that's what, as a player, you learn. When you get into big games, you don't have to change your game to try to do more. You're better off just staying nice and calm and not going out and approaching it the same way you would, a regular season game. And that's the mentality we have to have moving forward.
Getting ready for the Big Ten tournament. It starts Sunday in South Bend. Penn State against Notre Dame. The winner will take on top-seeded Wisconsin in the semifinals next Monday at 3:30, pregame at 3 o'clock on the Badger Sports Network. Next Wednesday, the all Big Ten teams and the individual award winners will be announced. I would assume that Tony Granato will be Big Ten Coach of the Year for the second time in 5 years at Wisconsin. But I think it's pretty overwhelming that the Player of the Year will be Cole Caulfield, who became a back-to-back conference scoring champion, the first in school history and the first in the Big Ten. There haven't been many in the Western side of things, as Todd Molesky, the State Journal, had pointed out. But so you've got Cole Caulfield. And really, Tony, when you look at, you have to vote for, or I do, you do, you have to vote for 3 players on your first team all-conference squad. Well, in my opinion, you've got 4 forwards who could be first team all conference: Cole, Dylan Holloway, Ty Pelton, Bice, Linus Weissbach. Unfortunately, or fortunately, one of them is going to be a second teamer. But that's I think that's saying something. You have the top 3 scorers in the league and 4 of the top 5. It's pretty impressive.
It's been an impressive year for all of them. You started with Cole, and Cole's, to follow up the year he had last year, as a freshman coming in leading the Big Ten in scoring and having a great, start to it. This year is different from the standpoint that now he has brought people with him to join the parade of how to be great. And when I say that, I just think that, as a young player, you're focused so much on doing things to help your team individually. And he certainly made that impact. This year, he's learned how to make the other players around him better and bring them, like I said, along with him. And I think that's been a great thing to watch him grow and develop as a teammate and as a line mate, and seeing the other guys jump on the bandwagon of saying, okay, we get it, Cole, we're going to be there with you. And so his contributions, point wise, have been remarkable. But what I've enjoyed most watching is watching him make everyone else around him better.
Who do you match up better with, Penn State or Notre Dame?
Oh, I don't really know, and I don't really care to hope for one team or the other. I think that, our success this year has been, basically, and we talked about this a lot. It's been repetitive every week. We say the same thing, but it's been really important for our team to do a couple things. One, it's to respect your opponent. No matter who we play, there's danger on the other end that you have to respect from the standpoint that you can't take anybody lightly. You got to understand that, whether it's great goaltending, whether it's great specialty teams, whether it's a physical team, there's areas that you're going to have to be sharp and recognize and be ready for. And I think that's the same mentality we will have this weekend. And, Notre Dame, I think down the stretch has played some great hockey. They are obviously great on the road all year. We're ironically going to their building for the tournament. But we know that they'll be big and physical. Penn State, on the other hand, they were on the break for the last few weeks. They played their first two games in over a month last weekend, so they're just getting up and running again. They'll be dangerous because they'll be rested. And that time off, the first couple of games, you come back, you're a little rusty, then you get a week of practice before your next game. They'll be hard to beat this weekend as well. So I think that's been, really important on how we get ready for each opponent, is to understand that there's strengths that they have and will present against us. And then the other thing we have to do is dissect where we think we can get after them. And, one of our strengths this year, I think, has been our forecheck, our offensive zone play, our ability to affect their, we can play, I'll give you an example. We play Michigan. Michigan's got a great set of defense. Minnesota, a great set of defense. And if you give them time and you let them turn up the ice and come at you, they're going to be hard to defend. If you make them turn and go back for pucks and you get in and you're physical on them and you're constantly hounding them, you can make a great defense sometimes look ordinary. And really that's been a big part of our success is all our four lines and how hard we forecheck, how hard we make it on the opponent's D. And that'll have to be the game plan no matter who we play this weekend. And again, we mentioned all of our, high-end guys that are having All-American years and Hobie Baker type years, but you really look at the gut of our team and the heart of our team too. And you look at Mersch and Baker and Stang group, and then you got the other group behind them with Gorniak and mostly Lindmark, but Donovan stepped in there and did a great job. And Matty D. St. Paul, a freshman's come in and contributed there. And then you got Jason Doogie, who's kind of a wild card. He's played great hockey for us this year. He hasn't had a really significant role 5-on-5, but his penalty killing has given us some stability on that unit. And then you look at the back end. You mentioned Anthony Kerr for a freshman, what he's doing back there. And you look at Peltonen, he's under the radar and doesn't get a lot of attention. He's been rock solid, physical, consistent, the entire year. We know about with how he blocks shots. And really, you go through that group and you say, well, the reason you're winning is because everyone's understanding what their role is and value to the team is, and they're doing it consistently.
So the Badgers will play in the Big Ten Tournament semifinals Monday afternoon at 3:30. And if they win, they'll play for the tournament championship and an automatic NCAA bid Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Both games on the Badgers Sports Network, both games on the Big Ten Network as well. My thanks to Paul Capobianco, Jay Williams, and Tony Granato. I'm Brian Posick. Thanks for watching the Badger Hockey Digest.